So let's talk about Stranger Things again. I did one video already where I talked about Will's arc and spoke to the things that people were talking about, like why did they slow down the story? Spoiler alert, to have Will's coming out, like doesn't really matter when the world is ending and they need to fight. And like a lot of people, I thought, yes, we did need that story. It was very important. It was a very important story to tell. It was important for his story arc and it was important to the overall story. Themes about being different, themes about keeping secrets, about how that, if you stay in the darkness, it's not healthy for you and it takes away your power. So the other big thing that people were complaining about that I saw online was the Max and Holly storyline, where right here, where Max is giving her this pep talk and basically being her guru and speaking to her about courage when the world is ending, when not when the world is ending per se, but when Max finally has an opening. Max sees her opening back to her body and back to Lucas, and she stops to give this long, pep talk. Holly, you got this. You can get out. You can get to your body. And a lot of people were like, "What are you doing, Max? Why are you giving a podcast? Why are you suddenly her guru? Just go and run and run and run." And I think it's funny in a lot of ways because what they're feeling is that urgency and stakes that the Duffer Brothers created. In the same way that they're saying, like, we don't have time for this, they're also responding to how scared they are for Max and their body, and the cortisol levels are rising, and they're like, please leave now. Because we've already seen she saw her opening once before and she hesitated and she didn't get out. So that's what they're responding to. They're like, we're all like, go, 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 run, run, run. That's brilliant storytelling. It's brilliant storytelling when we're in Max's body and we're telling the character to move now before it's too late. So that is interesting to me that people are complaining about the very thing that is moving them to feel something in their body, which is like they're going to be in immediate harm if they don't move. Now, the other thing is what I find confusing to me is w- I thought the opposite of people saying, like, Max, you're taking too much time, get the hell out. I'm like, Max is going to leave this poor, helpless little girl alone in this crazy world. This little girl, like, she knows for herself, she's been wandering for 2 years, she keeps saying, trying to find a way out, hiding in this cave from Vecna, and how terrified she's been. And it really speaks to Max's character, her integrity, loyalty, courage, that she wants to save herself, of course, but she doesn't want to do so if it means leaving Holly behind to be trapped, to be consumed, to be, whatever, used upon in Vecna's world. So she hesitates as any hero would, because what hero is going to leave a helpless child behind? So to me, this moment is so important again, because if Max bolted for the exit, leaving Holly like, help me, help me, help me, people would have been like, Max is a monster. What kind of monster leaves a helpless child behind in this fiery pit of hell, in this abyss? And it really like Max earns her like freedom in my book, because we see how desperate she is to escape, how she hesitates because she wants to help Holly and she does the best she can to help Holly, because ultimately she can't really help Holly unless she can get back to her own body. She's like, her saying trapped isn't going to help anybody. So especially when she knows that Vecna has said he's coming for her. He has found a way to take care of her. So it's desperate for her. There's urgency, there's high stakes. Max has to get out sooner rather than later. She can no longer stay in this world with Vecna putting an X on her, right? He's coming for her. At the same time, she's a human. She cares about this little girl. She doesn't want to strand this little girl on her own without any protection. So this is why she gives us long, you know, speech to her about her being brave, how she has it inside her, how she just has to remember that, how when she gets back to her body, they will find her. But Max doesn't have all the information because she doesn't know about the abyss, because she's been in this coma, in this trance. So it all makes sense when you look at it that way. And people being frustrated that Max takes so long to escape just speaks to the storytelling. And that, what, again, I always go back to great storytelling is, what would I do? What would I do? And when you're standing in Max's body and you see that opening and you're like, go, 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 why are you hesitating? That's you now becoming one with the protagonist and thinking, why are you hesitating? Why are you hesitating? I would never hesitate. I would never hesitate. And the But the opposite is, somebody like me is saying, I don't even know if I would go. I don't know if I would leave Holly behind, because she's this helpless child. And as a mother, the mother in me says, I wouldn't go. I would stay behind and try to protect her. So that is brilliant storytelling when we can all see ourselves in the protagonist. We can all see the urgency and stakes and feel it in our body. And the frustration comes from, why are you not doing what I want you to do? Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Well, this is a complex character, and she's going through complex emotions at this moment of her freedom, because her freedom means leaving an innocent, helpless child behind. That is brilliant, people. And I think if you have issues with that, you haven't watched it closely enough. You were just watching for, again, for the plot of, you have an escape, take it. You're not looking at the emotional complexity of, if my escape means leaving a helpless child behind, maybe I shouldn't take it. Maybe there's more to just escaping if somebody else is going to get hurt by my decision. That's brilliant. And Sadie Sink plays it brilliantly. And these two children play it brilliantly. And I know there's been a lot of complaints about the acting level of the children. And listen, children are actors are inconsistent. They always are going to be. It's hard to go from being a childhood actor to an adult actor, and we've seen these kids do this. And they're being asked to play some really complex material, and they don't always nail it. But in the moment when Sadie Sink reemerges and Lucas, who's playing Lucas, reacts, that was absolutely bone-chillingly brilliant. His emotions seemed extremely real. Lucas has been inconsistent to me in his acting. He doesn't always nail it, but he nailed it in that moment. I thought it was brilliant, so kudos to everyone. But it was all, his tears are our tears, because we're all so fired up in that moment, wanting Max to escape. And when she finally does, we just all are crying. Like I said, I was crying during Will's coming out. I'm crying during this scene. I'm crying for Holly being left behind. I'm crying that Max is alive. She can see, she's well, she's back in Lucas's arm. All those things are so brilliantly, you know, it's brilliant storytelling. It's brilliant storytelling. We're feeling it in our body. We're having strong emotions. So if some of us are feeling frustrated, disappointed, that's because the Duffer Brothers know how to make you feel, not just think. They know how to make you feel, and they don't always give you what you want, which can be frustrating, but at least they're making you feel something.